my goodness, this nigga's still talking.
Welcome to Just Talking Podcast. I'm Nah, your host. It's been a little bit, not too long. If you were there for a little shorty joint I had, the shorty that I had a week or two ago. How y'all been since then? I understand that joint was a little bit messy, bro. I don't even know if y'all noticed, but I was dead ass falling asleep in that shit. I don't remember if I said it, but I was knocking out while talking, and that's when that's when I knew I had to put down. Had to put it down. It was a hard sacrifice, but a lot has changed since I've been gone, bro. It feels like all the interesting stuff happened right when I left. All that shit that'd actually be fun to talk about. Either that or like I just don't care about the news anymore. I feel as though like the news don't even talk about Biden as much as it talked about Trump. I feel as though like we're trying to hear everything about this guy at first, bro. Like, I'm gonna be honest, man. Y'all are caring about the kids in cages, like literally up until the election, and then now it's like that Biden nigga. Them niggas do kids in cages, but instead of the C in cages, it's a K, so it's cute. Kids in cages, you feel me? That shit tough, bro. Trademark it. I gave Biden the idea, but like, nah. Cause look, I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Trump supporter. Let me say that before y'all niggas start rah-rahing me, cause I came in this bitch merely doing politics when I usually do not. But before y'all niggas kill me, listen. If anything, I would lean more towards Democrat. I wouldn't have voted for Trump, and I didn't in either election. I couldn't in the first one, but I guess he'd call me a third party. Yeah, I'm one of those. I'm one of those. Someone who believes that you know the both the Republican and the Democratic parties are pretty corrupt in a way. Yeah, not really fixing anything. Saw the way that nigga pulled out of the Middle East. Left a whole bunch of people there. That's crazy. See, y'all niggas are all like, "Oh yeah, but at least he's better than Trump." I'm like, niggas about the same. Trump talks more, he sleeps more. Sleepy Joe. All right, man. Let's get to the stuff I actually do want to talk about. All right. I guess want to talk about, but like just some interesting stuff. One of the first things I want to actually like kind of explore on or expunge. What the fuck, man? I just talking, man. Just talking. Just something I want to just talk about at this moment in time. Yeah, you see what I did there? Jeez, feels like I lost my timing with a lot of those, but freaking Shakari Richardson. And the reason I want to talk about it is the reason why I wanted to talk about it is my fault. I typed in her name on Google just so I could pull up some old stuff so it'd be easier to like talk about, but nah, it was like nah, I'm on this shit, and apparently Usain Bolt. You see, the worst part about it, I don't know exactly what he said, but Yahoo News for most literally basically only said that the advice Bolt had for her was train harder and be focused and not say too much. And then apparently she responded to the comments by the retired. Uh, she responded by saying, "Everybody wants to give advice in media, but none of them actually take the time to speak to her outside of the media. So I feel her. Stop speaking on me when you don't even speak to me." Look, bruh, I can, I get how she feels right now, in the sense that like, to begin with, all the attention that kind of rained on her, it wasn't like she had asked for it. It's not like she wanted it. Just because she was black and she happened to fail a drug test, everybody and their moms was getting on it, and they were like literally making her the poster child that she didn't even want to be. And I can understand that. But when that was happening and you're getting all that clout for it and everything, it was okay. Cause I'm not gonna say she was abusing it. I'm not saying all that. But like, it's funny. I heard of her like maybe 2 weeks before, a week or two before the drug testing came out. So I was just like, damn, she got caught up already. She just became famous. It felt like niggas are just now talking about her. At least in my circles. I don't know about y'all niggas. Maybe y'all watch the Olympics and track and college track and all that shit. So y'all already been known about her. But I was like, I just didn't get it. I was just like, she was just, in my opinion, she's just another runner. Just like how, like, I guess, like, what she stood for was that, like, African American woman from the United States. Yeah, I guess, yeah, African Americans would be from the United States, usually. Well, I guess you don't call Afro Canadians fucking like. Is that even their name, or are they just call Canadians up there? You know, I always wondered, bro, why like certain places like really specify race so much. Like if it doesn't matter, bro, why we gotta put it on every single application? I don't know. Yeah, I don't really know. But that's what I'm saying. So I understand that. But like I'm saying, it came with it. That's done. And she was feeding into it a bit. Because especially when the drug test came, and there was a lot of people who were like speaking for her, but in a positive light. People were saying that, oh, this shouldn't still be a thing. And mind you, weed is not even fully legal in the United States. It is still getting legalized. So and it's not legal in the world. This is a worldwide competition. These are rules that have been there for a while. It's not like they planted the drugs. Like it wasn't like it was something that she was targeted for. She was not targeted. Niggas bring up Michael Phelps. Michael Phelps didn't get to swim in every one of those races that year too, and they took away all his medals and all that shit. Cause look, they let her run and then they take away her medals. Y'all niggas still gonna complain. That's what they did to Phelps. And I'm like, not only that, but I feel as though even using Phelps, all right, you're saying that is a time when the case was handled incorrectly. That isn't supposed to happen. So instead of amending that and making sure that people don't slip through the cracks again, we're going to be like, well, because he got away with the murder, why can't I? And I know it's not to that extent. Okay? I'm just saying, if you can't do the crime, don't do the time. No, if you can't do the time, don't do the crime. That's the order of it. Goddamn terrible. And that was my only thing about it. I didn't, because that's what I'm saying. It's not like I had any issues with her running. I just didn't understand the rhetoric around why she should be able to. Like, if someone gave me a good reason, then it'd be fine. But it's like, okay, I understand. She went through mental grief. There was someone who lost their wife, that literally lost their wife. They didn't turn to weed. And I'm not saying that it's easy for everybody. I happen to partake in the punching of trees, as what some would call it. Okay? So, I can understand, you know. Uh, I but that's what I'm saying. Just because I do something and I know that at least it is currently not accepted, and I cannot literally just go out in broad daylight and show myself doing that. If I know that, why would I go Why would I do that when I know I have a competition going on? I know plenty of people who run track, at least on the collegiate level, which is college, I'm pretty sure. New people in high school and everything. There would be certain times where they would partake, and there would be certain times when they would not. When drug testing was coming along, or they were thinking that it was coming, sometimes they would literally not partake. They would literally not do it. So I don't understand that it's like, oh, well, she should be able to run because like she's been in the program. She's been in like the different levels and all the levels. It's not like the rules are changing. So that's my thing. That was my thing about that. The hate she's getting now. I I'll say this. Before let me scroll back a little bit before I get to that part. There was a tweet that she did. I screenshotted it and then I put it on my main, not my just talking Instagram story, but my main Instagram story. Cause this is my thing. Okay, I don't I don't think people like I don't understand quote unquote cancel culture and all that to a fairly large extent. So a few years ago, Kevin Hart was supposed to host that What Award show. I'm going through this quickly, and they looked up a tweet. Someone looked up a tweet they had made years prior, literally years prior. I think even before he blew up at that time, and basically after that, that nigga. Oh, in the tweet it was all like, and my son was gay, I would smash his head with a dollhouse or some shit like that. It was not literally that, but it was it had those dollhouse and gay were keywords, or like key things, key ideas. All right, so just going off of that, immediately, man, immediately, I was like, it doesn't, cause when during the time where she was getting the weed allegations, people looked through Shakari's old tweets. Now, me personally, I already said that I don't think it's right. However, the reason why I posted on my story, y'all better treat this like the same way y'all treated Kevin Hart, even though earlier I said, oh, we cannot say Michael Phelps. Do you understand what I was alluding to now? If I was saying like we can't say, oh yeah, because someone did bad, we can do that. I was doing the same thing. I was using that as an example. Some people were, and then some people didn't really agree, and I was like, okay, I just didn't. This is my thing. You can say, okay, I want to. I think the rule should be changed. That is fine. That is not what the rule is currently. I cannot go in front of. I cannot go in broad daylight and do that stuff. I cannot do it in the competition. So if or before a competition, if I'm going to be competing, and in the rules it clearly states you can't have those. I don't understand why that is such a difficult thing. So I just didn't get it. I didn't get that part. And then now she loses fast forward, she loses. Everybody's getting their freaking ha-has out. But I didn't understand the amount of people who were getting the ha-has out. Like, what I didn't get was the people who were making, so a lot of the people who made fun of her were the same people who advocated for her. And there was a tweet she made right before she competed. It was like one of the, I forgot which race, but there was a race beforehand than the one that she raced in, where the Jamaican women's team had literally beaten records. Like they beat records in that race. And she posted a tweet that said, "Do you guys do you miss me already?" And look, There's confidence and then there's arrogance. To an extent, I put that in the arrogance category. And look, it's not completely bad to be arrogant. But as a gamer, all right, when you sitting there, you being one of your friends' ass in the game, bro, right? You playing, you start talking your shit, and everything, and then you choke, you lose. Oof. You don't even want to be in that room no more, bro. Cause that's the thing, bro. Talking shit and then losing hurts the most because that's one of those things where you can never live down. The nigga don't even gotta say anything, and in your heart, it's already hurting. So now for her, she was talking, and then she went in last place, and that's it. That's the issue. If she was like close, it would have been different, but it was not. It was not a good display, especially for all the hoopla and whatnot. So a lot of people were clowning her. The only thing I didn't like, I was being consistent. I clowned her in the beginning. I clowned the situation in the beginning. I clowned it at the end. All right, that's my thing, bro. At least be consistent. It just seemed like there was the people were clowning her that was originally on her side. The fuck. And that's the only thing. Because like as I said earlier, I don't blame her for not wanting the spotlight. But when she had the spotlight, she loved it. It's like it's one of those. It's a double-edged sword. That's what it is. That's exactly what it is. All that you want it, and then you realize that it's not always good. I feel as though that's what's happening now, especially since she did not meet expectations at all. I don't know. Wait, she only 21. Wait. Is this a real Twitter? Yeah, this is a real Twitter. How old is she? It said like 5 hours ago. So she's on. That she was been older than me. I mean, she guess she's probably still older than me. But yeah, same age group. Man, well, she was old. Not old, but like older. You feel me? But I guess I was wrong. Huh. I don't know. It's like the disillusionment of it all kind of surprised. Is disillusionment the right word? I don't know. That's basically all I have for that situation. Now, let's move on to the next past joint that I kind of want to talk about. And that's basically what this is going to be. This is going to be a recap podcast of stuff that I wanted to talk about, but I couldn't. So I'll talk about them now because I can now. You feel me? But oh my god, that shit was ugly. But um, yeah, niggas know that nigga Long Beach Griffy. I like that man. I like that man's. I will continue to enjoy this man's content and everything. Now, there's three things maybe that I want to say. And the first thing is this is in reference to a situation that happened like last month. It was really. I talked about it, I think. I talked about it recently, I think, right? It was like the three allegations with the three girls. And I just don't know, man. I only had two real questions about those, and I'm hoping that I did already talk. I'll just recap it in general. All right. So there was an allegation with someone named Heavily Controlled. Dog, you know those freaking like in the Star Wars movies, like they would have the recap and they have all those words just flying up and shit. That's what I'm feeling. I wish I could just do that, bro. But this is a podcast. I'm not trying to do a video. That shit too difficult. Not difficult. It's just too much work. You feel me? Just listen to the soothing voice that I'm projecting now into your ears. Now align your chakras. But nah, so basically there was three girls, and a popular guy named Heavenly Controller. He's a YouTuber. He streams whatnot. Does all that stuff. Um, he's not very well liked, whether it's because his constant, I guess, he would tweet a lot, and it would literally be kind of like more like baiting type tweets, and it'd be more directly toward geared towards like the anime community and stuff like that. So there was a lot of people who didn't really like him. I followed him on my side account on my Twitter just because some of the stuff he followed other people, and it's just like mutual type stuff. So it's like just so I could have more of an any Twitter, I guess is what you would call it. Any Twitter. Any Twitter, any Twitter, any Twitter. That shit ugly too. But yeah, so I was doing that. Or yeah. And then so we had three different allegations with three different girls about whether or not he would be able to, what's that shit called? All right, so the first girl, I want to remember the stories like pretty well. So the first girl he flew a girl out or invited a girl to come to LA, flew her out. She came, she kind of didn't hang out with him solely. She was messing with another guy. So he canceled her flight back, and that was just some petty shit. But that's not a cancelable offense. Let's just go on to the next case. The next case actually is where it gets interesting. There was a girl. She was 18 at the time. She went to a con. She messaged Heavenly on what's that bitch or what's that shit called? She messaged. They just DM'd a lot on IG and whatnot. And at the end of the day, she fucking was like, or she met him at a convention. They went to a party with him and more of his hosting type party. So his party, him and some friends and some of his other friends were there. And this is where there, I say, would be a split in the story, but at least from her side and her angle, what it exactly is that for her, she was pressured to drink. She was 18, so she was underage, so she wasn't supposed to be drinking. And the way it was really she was saying that she was put in a bad situation. All right. So what we did, so what would happen? That what happened later is that she went to the bathroom or something, and then when she was coming out, Heavenly jumped up. This is her side. Heavenly jumped up, grabbed her, and said, "Let's have a quickie." All right, let's have a quickie. Dog, if I'm just in an off rip, if that is exactly how it happened, if some nigga grabs you and in your ear grabs you from behind and in your ear says, "Let me get a quickie," but as it happened. Now notice that I just said grabbed from behind. That's because when she wrote it, that's how it seemed. But she didn't write grab from behind. She if I'm remembering correctly, she didn't put where she was grabbed at all. So that you go off, or maybe I think she did put waist, but still, I feel as though like it varies because like when you go to a party, bruh, and as the guy, there's like three ways you get a girl to twerk on you. I feel like when you go to a party. All right, the first one is like if she's bold and she just goes for you. That's not a common one, so I wouldn't put all my eggs into that basket. Um, the second one would be if you're feeling it, you go up to her. Again, you can't put all your eggs into that basket either. The third one is the one where you can say where there's a mutual interest and you can tell. I've been in this situation before. Because what you would do is that you guys would be looking at each other, you guys would make eye contact, and then it would be like that. All right, but unfortunately, the third one is still a variation of the first two because someone still is gonna have to fucking get get the balls, whether it's a female or a male in this situation. All right, someone's gonna have to take the fucking initiative, go up, and start doing some stuff. All right, and sometimes like you do a little when you're a guy, you're doing it, do a little tap tap, you do a little tap on the waist, see if she's willing to come closer. You don't. I don't aggressively pull. All right, I won't lie. I've definitely seen niggas that be doing that shit. I'm like, God damn, I couldn't. That's bold, bro. I don't be aggressive. All right, I do one tap, type tap, like light tap, like kind of a rub, you know, to kind of direction her towards my way. That's only if I did it. I don't be doing that. I don't be going up that much, bro. For me to go up to a girl to catch, I literally have to like not have my morals that day, in the sense of like, like I can't even just be. It's not even just a drunk thing, bro. It's like I gotta have the energy. I gotta have energy. I gotta drink some, and or the and slash or you know doing both is good. I gotta punch some tree. I gotta punch in. All right, I gotta punch in some trees, and then I'll start losing. I'm more willing to lose my morals, bro. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. You know. So that's what I'm saying, bro. But I don't be OC because I'm like, dog. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not here. I never go to a party just to catch ass. I feel as though doing that is literally meh. It's like, nigga, you're just horny at that point. Go to a party to have fun. So it's like that's not mainly my focus anyway. So if it doesn't work, I leave. And at the end of the day, bro, I find my niggas. We start tearing this shit up. Oh my gosh. But I'm trying to think. Going back to but yeah, nah. So depending on how he grabbed her by the waist or whatnot, that's what determines whether or not it is sexual assault. Also, the quickie thing is weird. I don't think anybody's doing that unless they're plastered. I don't think. Maybe if he was like maybe he was indicating a quickie, but like still, that's her side. That nigga went on Twitch, streamed the same day, stupid as shit. Or he was already on Twitch and he started talking about it, and he could not get his like actual story straight. He tried to phone a friend, which happened to be Griffey. Griffey was like, "Get this shit off stream. You shouldn't do this shit." But later, kind of fucks himself up too. But that's later part. We still got to get to the third allegation. Uh-huh. So in this third allegation, it was kind of hard to like really get the information about this one for some reason. But for that one, it was like he had gotten a girl to he flew another girl in. They were talking, and she wasn't feeling him like that. They were only supposed to be friends, I guess. But instead of going to her hotel, she decided that she was tired and she would just sleep on the bed on his bed that day. She then says that she woke up and he had touched her. So, like while he had been touching her while he was sleeping. That's while he had touched her while she was sleeping. Yeah, just making sure I said that correctly. I don't know if I said he or she. All right, that nigga was not doing no sleep molestation. All right, even then, that nigga was not be stayed by law. Them niggas would still eat him up, bruh. Sir, do you really expect me to believe that while this woman was on your bed, you, how you said, were completely unconscious as you felt upon her breastises and her vaginal area. Your Honor, Your Honor, that's exactly what I'm saying. All right? Under no means did I consciously touch this woman, and, and I have no memory of this. I know that this either did not happen or it must have been when I was asleep. So if we are going to assume that the plaintiff is seeking this, then I would like this case to be examined as well. All right. I have been known to get a bit touchy when I fall asleep. I just didn't think it was to this far. No one else had told me at this point in my life that I had done this. That is all from the defendant. Made my decision. I don't got a good desk right now, so I had to tap on the laptop. I don't know if you heard it, but I thought it was a good gavel. But yeah, back in the character. All rise. In the case of rape of in the case of Internet Against Heavenly, we determined Heavenly guilty because ain't no way this nigga was sleeping. And that's exactly how the case would go. Maybe a little bit more longer words because them niggas going to get it on documents, sound smart and shit. But, I'm pretty confident that's exactly how a court case would go. I haven't really been in one or been to one, like a good one, man. Like, obviously, when niggas get their tickets and whatnot, or during the ones for, like, I've been to one for claiming custody and shit. Other than those, man, like, I haven't been to the real ones. You feel me? I haven't been to the joints that are really rocking. All right. But getting back to the situation. All right. Am I saying all right a lot? All right. But so all this happens. Heavenly's getting like canceled, and then they're also trying to cancel people associated to him. And the next day, Long Beach Griffey does a Twitter space. Within that Twitter space, I'm gonna relay what he said, and then I'm gonna try and decipher it. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not gonna be able to, but I might not be able to do it perfectly or to what he actually was trying to say. But at least I'm gonna be saying my interpretation of it. Now, Long Beach Griffey went in the Twitter space, and unfortunately, on the internet, there's no due process. So this is what happened. He went in and he said nothing happened with any of those three girls. I was there. As far as I know, there was no Heavenly did not do any of those. All of the girls are lying. The first girl literally said that he didn't do anything, which is also why I struck the first girl out because she's not a plausible case. And it was funny that her story was the first one to come out. She was literally just complaining. Because I'm going to be honest, bro. Look, I would never fly a girl out, personally. Unless I'm balling like that. But, like, even then, I don't know. I don't think I'll fly a girl out. All right? I don't think I'll fly a girl out. I don't think it's that serious, bro. If I'm balling like that, nigga, I'm going to fly out. You feel me, bro? Man, rumor is standard pricing on the pussy is $40. That's all I'm going to say. Oh, no. Oh, no. But, yeah, so the first one I also threw away, so I agree with him for that. Second one, he said he was there. She also clarified in her story that he was there. She said it even before, like, she was the first one to mention him. And it was interesting that she mentioned him and then, like, only two other people. And it was like one of the people, he had nothing to do with it. She even clarified that and said that he had nothing to do with it, just to, like, keep that in mind. Because I feel as though like attacking Griffey is like attacking the brother of a murderer. Just because that nigga's brother killed people, bro, doesn't mean that nigga be killing people too. I'll definitely say watch out for him. Put him on the suspect list. All right, but like that's what I'm saying. If y'all niggas put Griffey on the suspect list, I'd be like, all right. I can get why you did that. I'm not mad. Feel as though he has done enough to not warrant suspect list, even though he had a friend that was. But it's fun. It makes sense. But they went straight to canceling him. But then for the other one, he was all like, and the other one, the next two, he basically like denounced the assault part of it ever happening, just like Heavenly did. So, and then the final thing that he said, which honestly, I felt as though if he didn't say this, he would have been fine. Because this is the thing that really confused and like just kind of tore, like just ruined everything. Is when he said, victims, you need to hold the victims accountable. And the issues with that is the idea, it's kind of like the idea that is getting put upon now is that there's no such you shouldn't hold victims accountable. It's not their fault. And I feel as though to some extent that can be considered false. Now, I was a guy. Guys tend to hold the quote unquote victims accountable a lot more often than women do. You can definitely tell by a lot about like some of the ways or some of the manners that guys speak. And maybe that contributes to why the suicide rate for guys is so high. But who knows? Who knows? I don't. Yeah, I just fucking talk here. But yeah. So the idea of it is that he's saying that, for example, for the second case, the girl's name was Kimmy. I'm pretty sure. She as an 18-year-old did not take the into her own hands of not drinking, even though she knew she wasn't supposed to. Because this is my issue. She's saying that in a moment where it's like way later, and it's like, oh yeah, I probably shouldn't have done that type thing. The reason I'm saying that, and look, that's what I'm saying. This is interpretation, but you have to understand where I'm getting at. I'm in college right now. I went to the frat parties. I know what happened freshman. Well, literally, what happens? They look for girls. They invite girls to their frat parties. Those girls have a choice whether or not to go because they have to go to the car. They have to text the number, get in the car, go to the place, and everything. Now, in theory, they would bring someone with them and whatnot. That way, they would feel safer and whatever. That's not what, but and things don't always go according to theory. People don't do that. So it gets to the extent where it's like, all right, if in the future she says I'm 18 and I wasn't supposed to be drinking, but you went to a place with alcohol, knowing that, and this is the thing, it was like pressure, the quote unquote pressure also has to be like expanded upon too, because I feel as though there's two different things. There's social pressure and there's peer pressure. When I went to my first frat party, I literally sipped on some jungle juice and then I gave the rest to somebody else. I did not drink the rest of the night. People offered me drinks. I did not drink them. There's a difference between, so when people offer me drinks and everything, I get it. Sometimes people can be pushy with it. I 100% get it. And I feel as though there is some of that, a lot of that is like, all right, you got to be able to stand your ground. I feel as though I don't understand where that became something where it's like it's not something that I think that people should like like people talk about as much, but it's like there's a social pressure where it's like everybody in that place is drinking, so oh, I should drink just to look cool. And I don't blame anybody else except the person who put themselves in that social pressure to begin with, because you knew. Because I feel as though there's a low probability that she went not knowing that they, like what how much of a party it would have been. All right, and look, I'm not her. I may be wrong, but there are certain things that you would just that like you would know. If a lot of people are going to hang out and drink, usually drinks are gonna like you're gonna hear drinking before that night. And she had went to that convention with friends, but she didn't go to the party with any friends. But it's fine. Being she was just trying to have fun. But like I said, so that second case, there's a lot of stuff that gets washy. Third one, I feel as though it's either he did it or he didn't. And for that third one, only God knows completely. Even for the second one, only God knows. But like that's why I'm like also so let me talk about the third one, holding them accountable. Someone flew you out. You go to their place. You go into their bed for the night. You stay in it. Now, he shouldn't touch you. Especially like he should not be touching you. He should not be trying to do none of that stuff. I am 100% agreement, which is why I said that if he did it, it's wraps done. It like the second one, Kimmy's that first case gone. Second one debatable. This one, it's either he did it or he didn't. If he did it, I'm sorry, gone. It's rape. That's it. And that's why I'm like, it's just so weird how you put yourself in that exact position is weird. And that's because it's like people usually don't fly like plane tickets are expensive, bro. People like they take time, bro. I don't know if people. I don't know why someone would fly you out just to do that. Now, especially if you guys hadn't met really in person at all, only had conversations through DMs and everything, you have to keep in mind most times, if that is the case, they are interested in you romantically slash sexually, either gender for the most part. It's different if it's just a conversation. You just talk every now and then, and it's just conversation doesn't ever really extend to meeting up or hanging out. But for the most part, yeah. If it does extend to that, then it's usually fueled by romantic interest or sexual interest. And like I said, I'm not saying it's okay of what he possibly did. I'm not saying what he possibly did is okay. Because keep in mind, these are just accusations again. I wholly encourage these girls to actually like try and put in the like paperwork, see if they can get some of this investigated, see if they can actually do this. Because I'm like completely for that. Because especially if it did happen, I don't see the point in using Twitter as a go around for it. I guess you can use that as an initial thing, but like I feel as though if you really want true justice, as what you guys are claiming that you guys would want, you would want to press charges or something. But I feel as though that's what he was trying to say. Now, when this happened, there was a lot of people. There was like waves of people who were in it. There was people who was trying to cancel him for different videos he had been made, or people had tried to cancel him for like, when he'd be like, "I'm gay" on Twitter or whatever. People were trying to cancel him because the people would say that's gay baiting or whatnot, or trying to get clout off of being gay. And I'm like, I think I already got clout. I don't think he's gonna get more just because he said he's gay. But okay, I didn't get it. So going going past that, it was like waves of just different times when people actually did try to cancel him and it failed. But now this was like the prime time, bro. This is prime time canceling, and it was like they were all coming out. Like I even recognized a few, bro. I was like, oh yeah, I remember when this chick tried to cancel this nigga, and it's like this nigga was canceled for a day. It actually worked, but this is the thing, he did it to himself. Cause what happened is that he like I wouldn't even say this is doubling down. He quadruple million time quintuple like he he put all his cards on the table and then added a whole deck, bro. And man made a skit. I do not think this. I don't think the skit was funny. I felt like he was like be like because all of his other skits, they all of them kind of lack a level of directness, and more of them are like more varied for. Oh, my fault. I'm moving the mic. More of them were like more varied per situation, whereas like oh, this would just be a funny situation if this happened to this group of people at this time, or these people who are overreacting because of this or that. I felt as though that wasn't either of those. It wasn't really social commentary. That was him trying to get something off his chest. He did it in poor taste. For example, he did a similar type of video when J. Cole got canceled. And that video was not a funny video, but he realized that and he put that in. He literally noted that it was just something that was disgusting and everything. It wasn't something that should have been canceling stuff didn't entirely make sense half the time. It's basically what he was saying. So it was like just seeing it was just wild to me. After that skit, he kind of refreshed his Twitter or some shit. It was like deactivated for like a few hours. He posted on. He made a Twitch stream where he doubled down and everything. He continued to like double down on what he said, but you could sense that it was like there was more. There's like stuff to it where it's like I don't know if it's like he's not allowed to say certain things. The Twitch stream was mostly more about his disappointment in people rather than like the situation. But he did also clarify some points. I will say the questions that I had, honestly, and it was mainly about like the actual actions for it. Such as let me think. It was um it was like Kimmy if he grabbed and started kissing her like she was saying. I feel as though that would matter. And then the last one would be like it's literally just those, but it's like he wouldn't have the answers to those because those two events actually literally happened later. I just wish I understand the thing for the third person why they can't expand, but the Kimmy girl, she had weird answers to her questions. She was like, and this is why I'm like, it was like a situation that she enticed, and it's like, response accountability. It does make sense, but the way you're saying it is not. And honestly, I just don't think he should have really let himself get into it. I watched the DJ Academics interview with him. And I enjoyed it. I thought it was actually really good. Or not DJ Academics. It was the No Jumper podcast. Oh, my fault. Or it was No Jumper podcast interview. I thought it was great. Like I had not watched a No Jumper podcast at all. Like not even really clips. So I don't know. I'm trying to think. What else? What else would it be? I guess I don't know. Yeah. All in all, I just didn't get. Oh, one thing also. It was like the content creators that were using that moment to kind of like prop themselves up for some reason. For example, I follow this one guy. I didn't follow him for it, but I did kind of question why he would even make that tweet. And the tweet was basically like, "Oh yeah, this is why you don't see me fucking around, fucking with these content creators. Alright, y'all niggas may call me weird for not doing that, or a loner, or a loser, and whatnot. But at least I'm not a rape apologist. At least I'm not a rapist." I'm like, dog, is your bar that low where you're just like proud to not be a rapist? You're proud to not be a rape apologist? And again, we are using the term rape very, very. Would it be loosely? Would it be tightly? I don't know. I ain't never heard niggas someone saying, "Oh, you're using that word very tightly today." Oh, that's a nice tight ass word, not nah. I don't think I like that. So I guess like the way I just didn't like the the idea of that. I was like, dog, why is this your take on the situation? Especially since like you're saying this the day of, so you're saying this when initial information comes, not when multiple, or maybe it was the day after. It was literally only like literally it was more of a 48-hour max type of thing, because it started one day, it got and it's just got started getting propelled. It got propelled the next day when Griffey made like the whole thing, like started the Twitter space and started talking on it. It was literally like started then. Honestly, you could even say like less than 24, like more like closer to 24 hours in the 48, maybe like just 36 hours worth of like time that I spent. I felt expanded at least for that. And it's just crazy to me. I can't imagine like that. Like I can't imagine that there's some like for example, when you were looking at the Jeffrey Epstein stuff and like I don't think that you can be like, "Oh yeah, see, I might be poor and everything, but at least I'm not out there raping girls, kidnapping them and selling them across the world." I'm like, "Yeah, I guess that's one of the least you could do." Like I get it. There's a lot of there are bad people in the world, but I feel as though it is usually not as much as the quote unquote or as the amount of like good to good people in the world. I feel as though there are less bad people in a way. It is just that like the smart ones end up being able to get into power, and unfortunately, the people who are good, because they technically did it in a way that wouldn't be that could be considered underhanded, but not, I guess, inherently illegal, not completely wrong. There's not much that some people can do, and then because they consolidate power, they're able to form with others like them. It's just they're able to like they're able to control the bad side in people through bribes and whatever or whatnot, deals, partnerships, all that. It's like it makes the world inherently worse. But I don't believe the exact idea or the exact notion of bad of like stuff being like of there being a least, I guess, or at least like that you should be trying to compare yourself to them, to such I feel as though more of a minority of people. And it's like the idea you did that is like, oh yeah, I might be a small like it felt like the guy was leveraging the fact that he or was like saying that, oh yeah, I might be small, but I have more morals than the big guy. I'm like, this like you're literally attacking this nigga, and he didn't really do anything. Like I said, those are allegations, accusations, and I would literally only say 1.5, because Kimmy's might line more into sexual harassment, sexual assault. Depends how much this nigga touched her and all that shit. But it's literally more lines for sexual harassment. So I'd say 1.5 sexual assault, which would then be more closer, which would then be rape. Sexual harassment is not rape. Sexual assault is rape. I'm just noting that. Y'all niggas might be like, oh, there's no difference. There's no difference. I'm like, yeah, we got words for a reason. I'm not saying that someone who does one versus the other is better per se, but I'm just noting that it's better to categorize. It's some stuff. It just makes it easier to go about it when you categorize them. So that is what I'm doing, and this is just more of a recap episode. Help me get in the swing of things. Yeah, we talked about two things that I kind of feel like I missed. The next episode, who knows what it's about to be about? Who knows what I'm about to begin in here? I will talk about the albums. I don't know if I'm gonna have a large episode dedicated for them, but I'm gonna have something, I guess. All right. Well, this is just talking podcast. This is not. I'm catch you on a next date time, whatever. Fuck, I'm out of here, man. I'm out.